Hello and welcome to Asktheinstaller.com. My name is John Kay, and today I'd like to talk to you about setting up your business. Part one is why should you hire an accountant? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where you should start. A good accountant or CPA is going to save you a lot of money in taxes, liabilities, whatever it may be. Make sure you interview, ask around for a referral, find yourself a good CPA accountant. This individual, he or she, they'll start at the very beginning by offering you suggestion on the type of business formation that you should run your company under. There's many different types, and each different type will offer different tax benefits and breaks for you. Sole proprietorship, which is more of an individual type thing. Smaller companies generally run under that if they don't really have to worry about massive liabilities or whatnot. So a lot of construction companies will start there. Really are no tax breaks there. You go into the corporations, you have, S Corp, C Corp, LLC, limited liability partnerships. These are things that by sitting down with a good accountant or CPA, you can discuss the business and he or she will be able to recommend which formation you should be operating under. So that's where you would start with the accountant. Secondly, the accountant will probably sit down and ask you for to review your projected expenses. And you'd be surprised how many expenses go into a business. You probably were thinking about it and you come up with the basics like, rent, truck payments, gas, advertising, marketing, just stuff like that. But there's so many little different parts that an accountant could sit down and give you an accurate projection on your expenses, and having a good handle on what your fixed and variable expenses are going to be will give you the upper hand. It'll allow you to know what type of markups and margins that you should charge so that you can create enough revenue, enough money left over to pay those expenses. One of the most common questions I hear from new construction or contractors that are starting up, well, they'll ask me, well, how much should I charge? And again, without knowing what your expenses are going to be accurately, figure out, your markups, your margins, and what you'd like your personal salary to be, what you'd like to be paid from the company. These are things that you need to know before you start calculating pricing. And again, sitting down with the accountant, um, he or she will be able to figure this out, and you should be able to come up with an accurate price per project, per service, even line item that will allow you to pull enough profit into the company. Again, sitting down with an accountant before you start for a few hours and paying a couple $100, it's one of the best investments you'll ever make. So, where most people in this industry, what they most people in this industry fail to realize is, what does a successful company look like financially? And it's very simple, and a lot of people uh, think if I can go to work and make such and such amount, it's more than I made at my last job, or it's more than I made from, I was making with my boss. But again, the expenses, a good successful company will generate enough revenue to be able to pay all of their expenses, fixed and variable, the truck payments, the rent, the gas on the trucks, the maintenance on the tools. Secondly, it will be able to pay its owner a comfortable salary, a living wage. You do want to get paid, right? Um, you were getting paid at your last job, right? So those personal bills that you have, they're not going to go away. You're still going to have those personal bills along with the business expenses. So you need to figure out, calculate what you need to pay the bills at home, and make sure you pay yourself enough of a salary weekly or biweekly so that you can meet those personal obligations. Big mistake I see most uh, most actually construction companies, the owners make is they pay their personal bills out of the business checking account. And folks, this is a big no-no. And if you go to a good CPA or accountant, they're going to tell you this. If you're paying your personal bills like your mortgage or your personal car payment, um, you can actually lose the corporate veil if you're setting up a corporation. Again, the corporate veil protects your personal assets. If you're paying personal bills out of the business checking account, if you're ever sued or claim bankruptcy, they can come after you personally for those liabilities if you're paying bills that way. So again, business checking account, it pays the business bills, the legitimate business bills, and the accountant will be able to explain to you what is business and what is personal if you don't know that. Personal checking account, that's where you should put your check, deposit your check from the company into, and pay your personal bills. So a successful business generates enough revenue to pay its personal bills, to pay its business bills, its business expenses, pay its owner a comfortable salary so that the business owner's personal bills are paid, and then have enough money left over to put into the checking account, the business checking account, for profits. So I like to I like to have a 10% profit left over that I can put into my business checking account for, marketing expenses if I want to do a little advertising, unforeseen expenses. Sometimes things pop up that you didn't figure out into your expense. So it's important that you're paying the company bills, you're paying yourself, and you're putting money away into the business to have there for a rainy day or to even potentially invest. That's part one of the multi-part series, Why You Should Hire an Accountant. I hope this has been helpful. I'm John Kay. Thank you very much.